Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is September 10th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the state of California where I'm circling. There goes this cutoff low, just still sitting out over the Pacific Ocean. Here comes our next system that's going to start to cool us down. You can see it at the very end of this loop, diving out of the northwest towards the west coast of North America. We're going to go over that in some detail here as we go through the video this morning. Take a look at the extended forecast as always, and some of that fire activity here across Southern California. If we take a look and scroll all the way back to yesterday morning, you can see the bridge and the line fire producing smoke across the transverse range. But watch what happened during the day yesterday. We had this intense fire breakout, the airport fire, producing pyrocumulus clouds. I didn't see any lightning associated with anything here, but that fire activity was quite dramatic. Look at all the smoke that was kicking off as we went towards the sunset period. And then we go to the overnight hours, and you can see once the sun set, you can see these hot spots on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. Some impressive fire behavior out there. Then we scroll to where we are this morning. You can still see smoke being produced from these fires. No doubt this is going to flare up again as we go through this afternoon as well. You can see some of that marine layer socket in the Bay Area and some of the central coast. Actually, still some sunshine for some areas as well. Now, taking a look, again, the bridge, the line, and the airport fire, not that far from Santa Ana and Anaheim. Probably an ominous looking scene there yesterday, as I saw on social media, that fire just breaking out with rapid fire growth there. Los Angeles Metro is right here. Now, taking a look at the next system rolling in here, we got isolated thunderstorms possible mainly for Wednesday, late morning, afternoon, lightning, small hail, brief heavy rain. Not too big of a deal, but mainly Susansville northward here across Northern California. So that's going to be the initial system rolling in here. Then we have potentially more troughing coming. We're going to look at that here in the mid-term and the long range models in a moment. So strong wind potential here with this system. It's really going to increase the gradient. We get some gusts up towards 50 miles per hour. This is San Francisco National Weather Service, and greatest potential along the Pacific Coast, North Bay Mountains, East Bay Hills, and Salinas Valley. Now, with that wind, we're going to bring some cooling temperatures also. Check it out, places like Furnace Creek going from 114 to 106, Barstow dropping off, a little bit of taste of fall coming up here, and some gusty winds to be had out there Wednesday and Thursday mainly, starting up here on Tuesday for some areas. More on that here in a moment. Looking at Phoenix, check it out, the gradual cooling trend today, Tuesday, 110 degrees. Saturday, next weekend, bring your jacket. Phoenix dropping down towards 100 after the record warmth they've had this summer. That's going to be a welcome relief here as we go on in towards the next weekend coming up, and potentially on in through next week as well. Now, looking at San Diego, let's look at today first. Palm Springs 112, Thermal 111, Oceanside 85, San Diego 83. You can see Irvine at 87, Anaheim 93, Riverside at 100. But by the time we go towards Wednesday, check it out. You can see this temperature starting to drop off a little bit, bringing some relief, especially to some of the coastal areas just down there in the upper 60s and lower 70s. So if we take a look at thunderstorm potential here over the next few days, this is day one, mainly just the Oregon coast, but then they do have it clip in Northern California. Day three, that system will be moving out. Now, looking at the HRRR, it doesn't really show much coming on Wednesday afternoon. Just want to point that out. This is not that big of a deal for Northern California. That system is mainly impacting the Pacific Northwest, but it is going to be ushering in that cooler air mass, and we're going to feel some of the winds from that system. Now, looking at the North American model, however, it shows a little bit better precipitation amounts with that system moves through. You can kind of see that could be some thunderstorm activity there. And again, that would be Wednesday late morning through the afternoon. Now, the bigger story, of course, is the winds. And you can see as we go through this afternoon and evening, we're going to kick those up again, no doubt helping to stir those fires across some of Southern California. And you can see across the ridges of the higher terrain, some of the coastal areas, winds getting pretty gusty here as we go through this evening and across some of the desert areas. But watch as we go through Wednesday, we really start to ramp things up. Look at some of the higher terrain in Sierra Nevada, down through the transverse range, east slopes of the peninsular range, the desert areas, some of the coastal regions really ramp up here as we go through Wednesday. It looks like the windiest time period there. We start to get a little bit of a break for some of the inland areas on Thursday, but still quite brisk along the coastal areas here with that northwest wind. If we take a look at max 10-meter wind gusts, I just want to kind of scroll through this. And the biggest wind gust, excuse me, start to show up as we go on in through Wednesday. Here you can see some of these gusts up over 50, 60, even towards 70 miles per hour for some of the most exposed locations. And you can see some of these winds out over the coastal areas gusting up over 50 miles per hour as well as the desert areas. So yeah, you got to watch out Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday night. Now, taking a look at a wider view of things here, the Hawaiian Islands are here. There's our cutoff low that we could see on the mid-level water vapor loop. There's the state of California, and I've got the GFS, the USA model here on the right. So if we put this into motion, there comes our system diving down. That's what's really going to increase our winds on Wednesday and bring that drop in temperatures that you probably will notice for most areas. And then the next troughing here has pretty good model agreement between the GFS and the European. This could bring some better precipitation chances across portions of California as well. So looking forward to this one. Starting to get model confidence increasing here. And so then in turn, our forecast definitely increases in confidence as we go through the mid-range. And then look at this, kind of the reinforcement of that troughing as we go through hour 210. And then the European wants to drop another one down here. You can see the GFS, maybe some kind of elongated troughing here, but definitely nothing like what the European is showing. But we have plenty of time to worry about that. That's 3 troughs out, just kind of a fantasy forecast at this stage. Now looking at the European, there goes Wednesday's system there, clipping Northern California, cooling us down, bringing those winds. And then you see as we go off into the future a little more, there would be that second trough dropping down here. Better precipitation chance for much of the state. And again, the GFS in fairly good agreement. I mean, we are looking over 150 hours out at this point, but that, that's an encouraging sign. And then the European once again dropped that third one down, which would bring precipitation chances with it as well. Purely a fantasy forecast right now. But yeah, definitely something to watch here over the next week or so. Looking at the artificial intelligence European model, this is 2-meter temperature anomaly. So, this is above average conditions when you see the oranges, yellows, oranges, and reds showing up. Below normal would be in these blues. So let's scroll through the next few days and you can see that system definitely cooling us off, especially across portions of Nevada, Idaho, and portions of Utah. But you're going to feel this across much of the state of California, all the way across the state it looks like. And then we scroll off in here and we get, again, another trough move down, as we talked about, across much of the west, and that would be quite nice. Definitely keeping us below normal, and some raw conditions, some cool conditions, especially across some of the higher terrain as well. But look at this, all the way down through Baja, all the way across the state of California, and Nevada would be included in that. And if we scroll out, you can kind of see the continuance of that third trough way out into fantasy land here. But yeah, we won't get too caught up in that just yet. Now looking at the GFS, we've been watching this little tropical disturbance right there kind of move up Baja into the Gulf of California, but it does not look like it's going to bring much in the way of moisture. Maybe a little bit of a surge initially as we go through the beginning of the weekend for some of the desert areas and some of Arizona, but then you'll see as the trough moves through here, it quickly shunts that moisture and keeps it far off to the east there. So not too worried about that system right now. So taking a look at the European artificial intelligence. Now here we're looking at the surface sea level pressure map here, and what we like to look for is maybe a tropical system here, or to see if we get any big high pressure across the Great Basin. It could drive some strong offshore winds during the month of September. But as we scrolling in through it, you can see we're not looking at any big pressure gradients there. And as we scroll all the way towards the 360-hour time frame, we're not looking at any big offshore wind event. That can still change, but right now we're not seeing anything of the sort. If we look at the 6 to 10 day, clearly the Climate Prediction Center is in agreement with what we are seeing on the models of below normal temperatures all the way through September 19th. And we go to 6 to 10 day and kind of see that all the West is included, kind of bullseye across Northern California and some of Washington. So it'll be interesting to see what those models are showing. Starting to get a little bit excited about that, and we will continue to watch that day by day, crossing my fingers that sticks in the model runs coming up here. Here's the 8 to 14 day as well, below normal signal across much of the West, and the above average broad brush here across the lot of the West as well. But yeah, here they come. A little bit of a fall transition coming up here. Hopefully you guys are starting to get excited as well. But anyway, hope you guys are liking the channel. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.